fellow YouTubers. Time for another episode of Walking with Beau. Oh, got some police action. Starting the evening off with some police action. So anyways, I'm going to go for a kind of a basic 5-mile walk. Yesterday we went just under 6. Tonight I'm not going to detour too much. It was almost 90 degrees today. It was nice. And thought somebody was turning around the corner real fast. It was about 90 degrees almost today. A little more humid. And right now it's about 74 degrees. And it's dark. It's going to be warm tomorrow too, about the same as today. And the weather's pretty good. I also have the body cam kind of angle again. Camera's right on my chest, just under my pectorals. Chest cam. Smells and feels like a summer night tonight. A little cool on my arms, but as we get walking, I'll be sweating and it'll feel warm. Now, last night's walk, I got rained on a little bit, which I uploaded. Brought my little flashlight with me tonight, in case I need it. I'm not bringing an extra battery with me because I've been discovering that walking at night, I still have 20 to 25% of the battery left when I get back. So I'm gonna walk on. So I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I'm comfortable. Maine is definitely in summer now. The rest of the country's been in summer for about a month. It is what it is here. Somebody I know online lives in Arkansas. His power is out, and he said it's 90 degrees and it's like the tropics humidity. So humidity here is only about 65%. The dew point's about 62. So that's kind of moderate. It's actually quite nice. Now the drawback of wearing less clothes with less pockets police are active tonight. There was a police car zipping by. So it is a nice night for a walk tonight. So I'm carrying my cell phone in my hand instead of having it in a pocket, which is okay, doesn't matter. When I first started walking, I used to do that all the time. Anyways. So that's kind of cool. My younger brother is going to be home very soon, a couple, 3 days. I'll go shooting Saturday, it'll be fun. And I am going to shoot some video for the channel. Not quite sure what I'm going to shoot yet for video. So, very quiet tonight. Well, except for police cars zipping around and typically Tuesday nights pretty quiet. I really do love walking with these Reeboks. They break in around your feet nice. Somebody else put these on, they'd probably feel terrible. But they have the lace holes in the right place. So you get a nice, secure, even lace up. Because, you know, kind of like when you put sneakers on and you tie them up and then you pull them tight, they'll either get tight up by the lower part of your ankle, the top part of your foot, and it'll be a little uncomfortable, and then the bottom part to your toes is kind of loose. These are, the eyelets are made so when you pull them tight, it does a good job of equalizing everything. So we got a police car sitting there. That's because somebody was driving in here that doesn't belong here. So that police car right there is checking them out. Looks like. Which is good. So that's where that police car was going. All right, we're gonna have some darkness coming up, which is why I brought my little flashlight instead of using the light on my cell phone. I'm starting to sweat already. It is mild tonight. It is mild. Too early to see deer, I think. Usually see them later. As we get in the dark here, I'll put my light on. Wish I'd fix that street light, because it's dangerous. All right. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, I see a set of eyeballs. I see a set of eyeballs. You won't see them. That is a fox. Nope. Wait, what are you? What the hell are you? That's a fox. Right dead ahead. No, it ain't. Nope, that's a baby deer. I see it now. I don't know why it's just sitting there. Why would a baby deer just be sitting there? Hi, baby. Yep, that's it right there. Well, Mama probably told him to wait here. I'm not seeing any deer. I don't hear them either. So I don't know why that's there. Hope it didn't get hit by a car. Hey, baby. I don't even think that's a baby deer because I don't see the white dots on it. It's a little bit bigger than a baby, but I think it's not getting up or moving. Oh man, well, these people own that property. The deer is just licking itself. It's cleaning itself. Might be cleaning a wound. Well, son of a bitch. Well, I can't do anything about that. Well, damn. One of those things where, what the hell am I gonna do? Can't do anything for a friggin' deer. I don't even know if it's injured. It might just be sitting in the field, minding its own business. I can't go on these people's property, especially when it's dark like this. I don't want to get hit with buckshot. Well, that sucks. That's definitely unusual behavior for deer, regardless. I wouldn't have seen it either if I hadn't had this flashlight. I usually don't bring a flashlight, but I would have had my cell phone flashlight on anyways. Well, I'll put it on right here because there's a car coming towards me. Paid me no mind at all, just like when you wear a vest. Unbelievable. Well. Well, that deer did not look like it was in distress. It looked like it was just calmly just hanging out. It wasn't trying to struggle to get away. It was just sitting there. The only thing I saw was it kind of put its head back and was looking towards its hind legs. But who knows? Deer do that anyway. Maybe he's just tired and resting. Didn't look injured. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it. But truth of the matter is nature takes its course, and that's just how that is. Every time I've ever seen deer on the side of the road or something like that, it never turns out good. Somebody has to put it down. We watched a police officer shoot one in the head one day. So I think I'll just leave it be. And like I said, those people own that property. And I know that building there has renters in it. It's coming up on 11 o'clock at night. I'm not going to go knocking on doors. So I'm going to file that in the category of it's not my problem. So I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I just know from experience, what are you going to do? Can't help the deer. Really can't. Nobody really helps those. They just put them out of their misery. There's like hundreds and hundreds of them all throughout Maine. That one might have just been clipped by a car. Maybe it's just lame. Maybe if I notify somebody, they'll come put it out of its misery when the damn thing was going to heal up. So I'll just leave it alone. Kind of reminds me of a really cool movie, No Country for Old Men. If you've never seen it, you owe it yourself to watch it. Basically, the story starts out with this guy in a pickup truck, Josh Brolin. Goes out, and it's on a border town with the Mexican border, and there's people that cross the border, and he stumbles upon this scene where you have a couple of vehicles. It was obvious they had a shootout, and this guy had been in Vietnam. The movie was made in the 2000s, but the time it takes place is in the 1980s, early 80s it looks like. And you still had the Vietnam vets then. Anyways, he figures out that there was somebody that had been shot there and had wandered off because he was seeing a blood trail. So he followed the trail. He was out hunting. That's what happened. That's right. Hunting coyotes, I believe. And he had his rifle with him. And he saw a guy that was dead under a tree. And he had a bag. So he tracked where that guy came from and found that other scene with vehicles. There was obviously had been a shootout. Law enforcement didn't know about it yet. And he found a bag full of a lot of money. A lot of money in it, and everybody there was dead. So he takes the bag, and inside one of the trucks was a guy inside that was almost dead, begging for water. He was out there in that sun all day cooking, dying in a truck, and he just wanted some water. So this guy was like, well, there's nothing I can do here to help him, which is how I feel with that deer. So he grabs the bag of money and leaves. He should have stayed gone. But, like most good people, he had a conscience. So he needed the money. He lived in a trailer with this girl. They're broke. And so he decides to keep the money. Then he's laying down trying to go to sleep. He hasn't told her about it yet. It's bothering him. This guy dying in the truck. He couldn't do anything to help him. So his conscience gets the better of him. He grabs a jug of water, puts it in his truck, and heads back out there. Well, by this time it was dark, because it was in the hot day when he went earlier. And he would have been better off not going back, because his life and the life of his loved ones all changed because he made that decision to go back and help that one person. So he goes back to help that person. The person's dead. So he went there for nothing. The guy died anyway because he had been shot, really. So just as he's like, well, I guess I'm gonna bug out of here, other vehicles start showing up that belong to the cartels. So he was forced to abandon his pickup truck. So now they have his pickup truck with his registration, his address, they have all his information. And he also has their money. So while he's trying to get away from them unseen, they see him and they start shooting at him. He ends up diving in the river, swimming downstream, barely gets away with his life. And, you know, now he's freaking out. He's like, well, I don't have my truck. They know who I am. So now I got to tell my lady, we're going to have to do this and do that. And so he puts her on a bus out of town. She's not happy with it. And the rest of the story unfolds from there. It's worth watching. It's one of the better movies I've seen in the last 20 years. It was actually a Coen Brothers film. Same people that made Fargo and movies like that. Which, if you haven't seen that, you need to watch that too. So, anyways, thought I'd share that with you. If you've already seen No Country for Old Men, then you know what I'm talking about. Tommy Lee Jones was great in it. The movie was probably made, I probably have this wrong, 2014, 2013. Might even be older than that. I don't know why I'm thinking 2008. Well, whatever the case, doesn't matter. It's really good. I've got to check it out. And I like it when they make movies where they set it back in time, because then you don't have the cell phones and all that stuff, and you can do more with the movie. That seems to be a problem movies have nowadays, especially horror movies. Because, you know, they go out and one of them was a Friday the 13th movie, one of the newer ones, which I saw in the theater. It was really good too, by the way. And they had to get rid of the cell phones early. They always establish on their way out there, oh man, I can't get a signal. Then the other person has to say, yeah, we have spotty coverage here. And so they have to, and that's called exposition, film exposition. Because it costs money to make a movie. They don't put anything in it wasteful. They shoot more footage than they need, and then they piece it together, and they have like a certain amount of time to present the movie, because the theater has to show it a certain amount of times a day to guarantee their bottom end for the people that made the movie, so they don't lose money. So if you add that extra 20 minutes through 6 showings in a day, that's a whole nother showing of tickets. So it's a business thing. So typically they're 90 minutes to 2 hours. Only the big blockbusters get more than that, like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, whatever. And even then they have their limits too, because, you know, that's taking away from showings during the day just by the sheer length of the movie. So anyways, definitely worth checking out. No Country for Old Men. And Javier Molina, not Molina, that's a catcher. Javier, I forget his last name, is in it. Really good actor, kind of a big dude. Wish I can remember his name. I know it's Javier something. So with that, you know, it's really like good movies like that. So tonight we're going to finish off this walk, and last night I was nice and fresh. Had missed 2 nights walking in the last 7 days. So I lost 2 days of walking because of weather, and which was okay because it kind of got rejuvenated, because I have been walking every day for the most part because I enjoy it. And sometimes my body says, you know, hey, you know, you're 56 years old, chill out. So anyways, kind of funny when I look at my Google Fit app and add up my miles for a month. Had 124 miles in May. Don't know what I'm going to have for June. I'll wait till the end of the month. But you know, I could walk to Boston in a couple months. Thank you for the high beams in my face. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You made everybody safer by blinding me, so I don't know where I'm walking. Thank you very much. That's probably somebody with eye problems. Might be one of those people that shouldn't be driving because they can't see. I don't know. But anyways, I do like my little USB flashlight. It's got high, low, and flashy. So you have a flashing light if you ever need that. And I do like how my video came out that I uploaded with the camera mounted on my chest. Seems pretty stable. I'm sweating pretty good right now. A lot of people got fans in their windows, which makes sense because it's cheaper to run a fan than an air conditioner. And I definitely hear their air conditioner upstairs, and they got a fan in the window downstairs, which makes sense because the air out here is pretty nice. But I like it like my younger brother does. He said his hotel room in North Carolina, the AC vent is right above his bed, and it's set on freezing at night, and he wraps himself up. Like my dad used to say, he'd wrap himself up like a chalupa. I do that too. I like to have it cold. So I brought up that story with No Country for Old Men because we saw that deer. So it's one of those things where I'm better off just walking. That happens with deer all the time. I'm not going to worry about it. Daylight will come. Person that owns the property, you know, somebody will notice it out there walking by. Like I said, it just might be sitting out there resting. You know, it might just have a bruise or something tender because it got hit. But I guess my point is, if it has a broken hip or something like that, somebody that lives there will know it soon enough. really nothing I can do to help it. I'm not going to pick it up and bring it to a vet. Animal control, they'll just have the police shoot it in the head. They've done it before. It's not like it's something that doesn't happen around here very often. But as you can tell, it is bothering me. I love the little deer, but I also understand how nature works. So, and you've heard me talk about that pass through there plenty of times. People drive through there way too fast. There's a deer crossing sign. I don't know why people can't compute and equate the two, that, you know, early in the morning and late at night you're going to see deer. So, but that did look like a young deer or a female. It didn't look fully grown, but it didn't look like a baby either. And it didn't have the white spots on the side if it was like a fawn. So, oh, I see the automatic lawnmower. It's got its light on tonight. We had gone by here before and the light wasn't on, and I had told you I'd seen the light on before. Well, now the light's on. Grass is nice and short. Did a good job. All right, where did you go? Nope, I don't see it now. I see a red light up on a tree though. Wondering if they have security. I think they have a security light up there. Security camera. Well, bloody hell. Looks like Wednesday's trash day for this street tomorrow. Today's June 25th. Ooh, bright headlights, but normal. They don't have their high beams on. Had a nice pasta dish last night after my walk. It was really good. Put some oregano in the sauce and some Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. Had some ground Hamburg. Whew. Yeah, my eyebrows are all wet with sweat. It's definitely more humid tonight than last night. Last night walking, I had long sleeves with a shirt on top of that. Tonight, just a t-shirt and shorts. I'm actually wearing compression shorts, which are really good to walk in because it holds your thighs tight Feels like you get a little more bounce when you walk. Same ones you wear like when playing sports, tennis, whatever. Athletic shorts. Call me Cookie, but I'm doing something athletic right now. So it all makes sense. Oh yeah. I also like how these sneakers are very quiet walking. I mean, you can hear me walking, but it's not like dramatic. And of course, you know what Reebok did, right? Every time you find something you like, what do? It's not just Reebok, it's every company. Every 5 years or so, they got to drop the product line or come out with a new version of it, and a lot of times it's not as good as what you have. You know. And finding shoes to walk in, I didn't think it would be as difficult as it was, but it is. I've gone through that before. I really like the Skechers. They're just the build quality is crap. They really are. Now those A6 gels, awesome, super awesome to walk in. Just the right amount of cushion, like kind of like they assist you in walking, kind of thing. Because I got a couple pair that are too squishy. Those are okay if you're going to be in them all day, like working somewhere and standing, you know, or walking or whatever. But for walking athletically or jogging, nah, no good. You gotta have something that's got enough cushion and enough give to not be too squishy and not too stiff. And you can't give up on your shoe right away either if they're not hurting your feet or anything like that, because like my Skechers, it took a few miles to break them in. First started walking with them, they didn't feel comfortable. I mean, they didn't hurt my feet, they just felt stiff. It felt like you were stepping on the heel and slapping the toes down rather than having a smooth motion. But they broke in, and I think they were designed that way. But I just started wearing those this year, and the big toe started unsewing already. I mean, I got a lot of miles on them, but not like you can put on Reeboks. It's my second pair of Reeboks, and my first pair of Aztreks, they're still all stitched up and glued. I've just worn them out with a cushion in them is kaput. Still comfortable to wear around the house, but they held together, and they weren't made in China. I haven't had good luck with shoes made in China. China. So I'm going to look up when I get home and see if there's any information about deer just lying down at night for no reason. This one didn't look afraid of me. It didn't look anything. And just sit there, shake its head a couple times once in a while, probably because mosquitoes were attacking it. And was just looking around, stop, looking towards its hind end area, but that doesn't mean anything because animals do that sort of thing anyways. So I know lying down in that grass like that, this is coming up towards the end of the major part of the tick season, so there might not be too many ticks attacking it, but we're going to have a tick season in the fall too. We have this little lull in the middle of summer, July and August, the hottest months. And then they pop out towards the end of August, September, and they feed, and pretty much they end up getting frozen in the wintertime. I don't know how all that works with ticks, but they wake up in the spring with a freaking vengeance. That I do know. So we're not getting all the rain we had last year, which is good. Last year at this point, it was like raining almost every day. It was stupidly ridiculous. And all the trees suffered because of it. Everything was too wet. And trees were getting mold problems. Leaves were dying early, falling off the trees. Then we had the fall foliage and it looked just awful. We didn't have those nice, I mean, some of the trees did. Some of them did pretty well. But I noticed the Norwegian maple, the white Norwegian maple. Every single one of those, the leaves didn't turn to their amazing, beautiful colors in the fall. They usually turn like nice and yellow. That didn't happen with those. You won't see it, but this helicopter up there, life flight. Like I've always said, it means somebody's having a bad day, or maybe they're flying off to have maintenance done. I don't know. Tough telling, not knowing. Go lobster fishing with Owen. They do that because they bought their boat and they're still owing. But I am in really good shape right now. I like how my shadow looks when I'm walking. I don't got a potbelly stove going on. Yes, sir. Wow, it's beautiful tonight. I wish I could bottle this, open it up in the middle of February. Hey. 3 miles. Very good walking tonight. This is like the perfect walking weather. It's not incredibly excruciatingly humid. It's not dry. Temperature is about 70, 72. It's like perfect. Looks like somebody's been squawking their tires around the corner here. Power sliding, it looks like. Either that or it was heavy equipment. I don't know what you think. It's repetitive tracks. And I see this yard over here with a roping around it, so they were probably paving. And those are tires just from the work vehicles. That's it. I have figured it out. I am Sherlock Holmes. Like this clump of trees. Always looks good in the light. Saw a funny video earlier, and I know why it's funny, but you're not supposed to laugh. It's not politically correct. It was a place that has a picnic table on these 50-gallon drums. It's designed to float while you eat your meal at a lake. It's like a tourist thing. Well, this table, apparently these people wanted to see how many people it could hold. So, and I'm just going to say it, okay? The women that went out on it, there was like 10 women on it, maybe 12. They were all overweight, okay, except for 2. And well, you already know what happened. That thing ended up pulling a Titanic, and the picnic table started going down, and the obese girls were hanging on for their life. But science and gravity does what it does. One end of the table started going up because all the heaviest ones were on one end. So this thinner girl jumps on the table on the end of it from the pier, lands on her belly to try to keep it from flipping over. Well, the thing went up. She went up in the air. She's hanging on. And then all the fat people started falling off it. And it came back down, and she was the last one on it. And everybody was laughing their rear end off, which I thought was funny. But I like videos like that. Yep, they capsized it. And it was the Titanic. It just could not withstand it. I can smell the woods and the leafy stuff. It does that when it gets warm like that and humid. I like it. It smells woodsy. So, you know, there's things today, you buy them and they're just not made like things used to be made. They're just not. We got this air compressor thing. You plug it into the cigarette lighter. I had a right driver's side tire and needed some air. And plug it into the cigarette lighter. I'm going to use it. The light's on. I turn it on and stops working. And then it starts working. Then it stops working. It starts working. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this thing? So I check out the plug end, and one of the connections on it, which turned out to be for the negative, is just about sheared off. Because it's a cheap solder, very cheap wire. And also, the one for the positive is hanging on by 2 threads. I'm like, what the hell's up with that? So anyway, I was thinking, well, it's going to be a one-piece throwaway unit. So I bring it in the house, and I actually figured out how it comes apart, the plug. I'd never seen one like that. So I unscrewed the end. It had a fuse on the end, spring-loaded. Figured out how that worked. Took it all apart. Took out my soldering iron and my solder, fixed it in like 5 minutes, put it back together, plugged it in, everything worked great. So basically though, it's crap, okay? And I'm gonna take this piece of pavement here that I just tripped on, a loose piece of asphalt, throw it in the weeds. I don't want to throw it on that guy's lawn because he won't see it, then he'll be using a lawnmower and all hell will break loose. So anyways, I fixed the compressor, put air in my tires. Oh, we got a car here not doing much. He's got his hazards on. They're trying to get home. What street? I have no idea. You're on Russell Street. Well, let me check. Let me check my Google Maps. 160? Yeah. "160 Russell Street." This is it right here. It's a nursing home. This old folks home. Is that what you're looking for? Because that's what my Google map says.
It doesn't tell me what it is. It gives me the address.
But I know what it is. This is an old folks home. Russell Park Manor.
Okay. Supposed to unlock somebody's door.
Well, the parking lot, you drove by it. It's got a sign right here that says Russell Park. There's an entrance right here that you drove by. So you'll have to turn around and pull in there. Okay?
Yeah.
You're right here, though. So that car right there is barely running. It's got 2 tires that are almost flat. And she's coming here because somebody's locked out, she said. Yeah, right in here. Have a good night. Friggin' weird night tonight. That's all I'm saying. We have police cars zipping around. Tuesday night is supposed to be quiet. Not supposed to run into anybody. And we got somebody lost looking for 160 Russell Street, which is the nursing home. And she said somebody was locked out. She's supposed to unlock their car for them. You got me, bub. And don't confront me none. Anyways, we got a deer out in the woods in a field. Somebody that can't find a nursing home that they're right in front of with a big sign that says Russell Park Manor. She didn't even know it's a nursing home. She just said 160 Russell Street. That's what it is. We got a running track across the street, and the even numbers are on this side. It's the nursing home, Russell Park Manor, according to Google Maps I just looked at. And you know why this is happening, right? It's because I didn't bring my extra battery tonight. Because I was telling you, well, I usually have enough time for my walk. And it should be like with a footnote, if people don't stop and harangue me for things. So hopefully I can still get this walk in. And I don't really have a choice because I don't have that extra battery with me. So if it cuts off, that's what we get. So I guess in the Trump gag order thing there, I guess the court allowed I think we just almost saw an accident there, because the person in that fart can car doesn't understand right away, I guess. Actually, the guy that turned during a red light, so that would have been this guy's fault. Well, at least if we're going to run out of battery, it'd be good to run out of battery for a car accident. I think you would agree. So we're at 3.5 miles now. Walking along, enjoying our life. The reason why I opted for compression shorts tonight is because if you've ever walked when it's humid, the less you wear, the better. It'd actually be good to do all the walking naked, but I don't think people would like that. Pretty loud frogs. My younger brother is funny. He said he's in North Carolina. It's like mid-90s today. Very, very humid. Like we don't get very often. We had that humid for a couple days last week. We had 98 degrees. Very, very humid. Miserable. But it's like that consistently down there. And so he said tomorrow he's going to spend most of the day in his truck because he's going to drive somewhere. And he's got the AC. So he told me in a text that he was hot. And he went in his truck and run the AC. Then he remembered that he actually has seats that you can set for cool. And I love the seats in his truck when we go shooting, because in the winter time it'll be 20 degrees out. And you put the heater on in the seats and it warms your butt up pretty nice. And does the same thing for cool. So I don't have that in my car. I got an old-fashioned Mustang. Doesn't really do anything. You got to turn the headlight knob to put this roof light on, the dome light. And it has the push-pull headlight button that Mustangs have been known for since the 60s. I actually have that in mine, which is cool. The newer ones don't have that. So I got no sat nav, I got air conditioning. That works really good actually. For now. And that's one of those things that'll be an expensive repair. And I don't know if it's worth it for that car, because it's got I don't know, it might be. I just got to 86,000 miles on that car. That's not much at all, really. Should get 150 to 200,000 out of that car. Other people have. So got a good deal on that car. Even though I'm thankful I got a good deal on it, because it has cost me some money. A head gasket. That was not a cheap repair. It was not. That was almost $2,000. That was a sitting in that bay, eating up their allotted time to make money with, and they charge you by the hour. And that was a job I wanted the dealer to do. I didn't want no BS. I didn't want no surprises. And they actually did a good job on that. They overnighted my heads off to have them resurfaced. Because if you try to mate those back together, and I think the problem I had was they were warped. So the young person that owned the car before probably was doing stupid things with it. And not surprise me. But I found out I needed that when I came back one day, and there was like a trail of coolant in the snow when I pulled in. Well, that's not supposed to do that. So what happened was the reservoir overflowed, which is a sure sign that you have a head gasket that has gone. So I checked my oil for coolant mixing with it. Nothing. That's good. And I checked my coolant, checked the oil, make sure there was no coolant mixed with the oil. And that was good. So nothing was intermixing. But the head gasket was leaking. So fortunately, it leaked in a place where the coolant was going into the cylinder. And so I knew that's what it was when I saw that, so I didn't drive it. Because if you drive it and you overheat, then, you know, that's it. That's it. Kill your engine that way. So anyway, fix that, and it's been good since. It's gonna need, you know, routine stuff, brakes. You know, you think this day and age brakes wouldn't cost that much, but they do. And it's usually the labor. So, but the parts for that car are easily available, and they're not that expensive. They're really not. So I'm guessing at some point next year or the year after, I'll need rear brakes done. And I had the front brakes done 2018. That's already 6 years old. So, but I don't have a ton of miles on it. Anyways, we passed the 4 mile mark a couple minutes ago. Head back. Have a glorious meal. Have some eats, some liquids. I got plenty of sparkling water. I really love the sparkling water. I'm one of those people where I'm not burping from what I'm drinking. I'm not happy. I mean, I'll drink just water, orange juice, you know, things like that. But you know what's really good is when you get some sparkling water and some orange juice. So you dump your can of, well, you put your orange juice in a giant kind of like 1 quart tumbler. And then you dump a full can of sparkling water in with it, and you get sparkling orange juice. Freaking delicious. So you can have pineapple flavored sparkling water with your orange juice. You have orange flavored sparkling water, lime, lemon. It's all good. My favorite sparkling water flavor actually is pomegranate. It's very good. Anyways, they also have mineral waters. Those are good for you too, for minerals and things, and they don't have sugar in them. You can get them without sugar. And what I mean by that is unsweetened, not artificial sweetener either. Just sparkling water with some natural flavoring from whatever's in it. And minerals. But those are more pricey in Bidenomics. Now, my last walk, I talked about the damn election. Now I got a stupid footnote added by YouTube explaining that Biden won the election fairly. So the algorithm went to work on what I said. The algorithm monitors everything you say. And if you don't believe me, go to a YouTube video, click the transcript button, and it lists everything you talk about in your video, and you can choose what time to go to if that's the information you want to hear. So they know everything, which means the CIA knows everything, because everybody knows that Google is associated with the CIA. They have been for a long time. In fact, that's where they got their funding to start with. CIA wants to see what people are buying, what they're searching for. I wish that wasn't true. I wish it was some crazy conspiracy. I would not mind being one of those nuts with a tinfoil hat. And you could just ignore me, but that's what they're doing, unfortunately. I've been doing it for a long time. As soon as search engines started getting popular in the 90s, The window is 95. That's really when they started getting active on that. So anyways, head on down the road here. Head back to the funny farm. And whew, let me tell you, I'm sweating. Big league sweating. I am soaked. I'll be downing a couple of 12-ounce cans of sparkling water when I get back. I never did Google where the hell ducks go at night. Never see ducks at night. I mean, obviously it's dark, but I don't even know if ducks can see in the dark. I don't see them. And you got a lot of predators like fox and raccoons and possum and all the stuff that comes out at night. And, you know, you don't want to be a sitting duck, as the saying goes. Where do they go? Do they go up in a tree? Do they go sleep on the lake? Just float around taking a nap? What the hell do ducks do? I don't know why I think of things like that. I thought of that before and I never looked it up. So I'll go home and I'll give the CIA something to look at. Where do ducks go at night? We got a stream here that I've seen ducks in before. Jeez, I could never walk with that flashlight flashing like that. I'd freaking hypnotize myself. I would too. That was very uncomfortable. Probably give myself motion sickness. All right. Coming up on 4.5 miles any second now. I almost got to walk in the books. I really do like this chest harness though. Body cam view. I want to try to get some film footage at the range. I got to think of some kind of activity we could do that would look good on here, because you can't do shotguns or anything where you use two hands, because you're going to be bringing them like this and you're not going to see anything. I want something like this where you get the gun like this. See that? Pew, pew, pew. But I can't bring it up to aim it. Maybe I can. See how that looks when I get home. Point this up like this. I don't think that'll work. It's going to be kind of like Wild West shooting like this. I could have both of them like this. Pew, 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 pew. I think that would look cool. Do Wild West shooting. Fireflies are active tonight. As they call them down south, lightning bugs. We have passed the 4.5 mile mark, by the way. And the lady in my ear already told me about a minute back. Looks like the street sweepers have gone by. A lot of debris on the side of the road's gone from those storms we had this winter. Finally got around to it. Yeah, things like that bother me when you see like injured animals, and you know, because your natural instinct is you want to help, and then when you realize you can't, you feel terrible. Like, you know, when we're on that walk this winter and that duck had that duck disease, it's called dysentery, and it wasn't good. It was terrible. And I looked it up online, and there's no cure for that. Once they get that, they're finished. So there's nothing I could have done. But again, you know, I can't go trouncing on that person's property for the deer. Might not even still be there. And can't call the police because I already know if the police come, they're going to shoot it in the head. And they do that. There was one in Auburn like that, big buck. He got hit by a car. It was middle of winter. It was very cold out. And it was on the side of the road. I was driving by there. That was it. Cop will put it down. That's their policy. City doesn't have any money to take care of that. They have an animal control officer, but you know, we had a deer that got hit by a car and killed out front of our house. 2 cops dragged it off the side of the road and left it there, and somebody came by and picked it up that they had sent. They usually ask people if they want it, you know, because you can cut the deer up. If you got a freezer and you cut up the deer, well, you could eat off that for quite a while. It's free meat. Meat's expensive now. So somebody hauled it off. Probably ended up being donated after it was cut up to a soup kitchen or something. Or they just hauled it off and threw it in an incinerator. I don't know. It was pretty bad. I do know that much. Its guts were hanging out. And it was gone. Now, when I went back and checked on that duck, there was nothing left but a few feathers, and it had obviously been eaten by predators. And the disease that the duck had doesn't affect other animals, and that's like part of the plan, I guess. Humans can't get it from them either. That's the way of things, I guess. Someday I'm going to be a dead duck on the side of the road, and people are just going to go by on their business and they'll say, well, that's another one down. That's just how it works. Well, anyways, I'm coming up towards the end of the walk. I want to say thank you for walking with me if you watched it. Click like and subscribe. And I'm pretty hungry right now. I was getting kind of hungry before my walk. Now it's been certified. I'm certified hungry. So, with that, Thank you, everybody, for walking with me. Hope you have a beautiful rest of week. Stay cool, stay happy, stay safe, and be good to one another. Bye-bye, folks. Bye-bye.